Hello and welcome to PBM Investments Podcast. Today we're going to round up what's been happening over the course of Europe and also the news and stock tips that you should be paying attention to. But first, here we are with the Asian roundup, which has just finished. So, Asian Dow was down 68 points. The Nikkei 225 was down 225 points. Hang Seng Index was also down 536 points. Shanghai Composite was also down 25 points as well. Sir Richard Branson has asked for the government loan to be handed out to Virgin Atlantic and Airlines, should I say. He owns 49% of Delta Airlines as well, which I've just found out. As I've said to you before in the podcast, because of the coronavirus, a lot of the airlines are finding it difficult to cope because no one's flying, no one's going anywhere. And he is also finding it tough as well. Incidentally, Virgin also owns Virgin Australia. Virgin Australia has just announced also that it is going into voluntary administration. This is because before the coronavirus actually happened, they were trading at a loss of around 5 billion. And this has been exacerbated because of the coronavirus and the downturn in all airlines all over the world. Now, Richard Branson's company owns 49% stake in Virgin Australia, and he's actually put up his own island, Necker Island, up for collateral to secure a loan to keep that side of the business afloat as well, which is very interesting. Primark has basically said over the course of the month, they have gone from 650 million worth of sales to zero. So that's obviously because no one's going to Primark. They have, I'm guessing, a very low to no online presence, so there's no sales going on at all within their stores or online. Now, Associated Brands Food owns them, and they basically said to the government, look, without a sort of support financially, they will literally have to get rid of 68,000 staff across their Primark division. So they're hoping to put them onto the furlough scheme. In other news, US oil prices, shale prices, have actually gone down as well. They've actually gone into negative territory. Now, I did mention this before, that just because the OPEC has actually cut their prices or cut their output, so both Russia and Saudi Arabia came to an agreement last week, I believe, to cut their output, the price is still going down because we're not needing any sort of oil. We're not needing petrol. No one's using it. Not even on an industrial state. Imagine how many airlines use how much oil and petrol. All these fleets are grounded. All these coaches and buses, most of the coaches, should I say, are grounded. No one's utilizing the oil and the petrol that the oil actually brings. Yet, the production cut I didn't realize this at the time, but is actually going to come into effect in June. So they're still pumping out the same amount of barrels or same amount of production as if everything was okay, but obviously everything isn't okay. So there's going to be a lot more, downward spiral on the US benchmark if it continues down that course. And finally, Norwegian Air. So the Norwegian Airlines is set to cut around 1,000 jobs. Again, it seems a bit airline-centric, but this is all that's happening this morning. Basically, the airline is floundering because of the coronavirus, as I mentioned there to you before, and now they're threatening to cut 1,000 jobs if they don't get any sort of financial help from the government. And this is tough times for the airlines because their share price is going down, and although many people, or many governments, should I say, are coming up with schemes in which we can come out of the coronavirus lockdown, how much of us are going to still go on the airlines? How many of us are still going to travel the way that we used to do? A lot of people are not going to do it with any confidence until we find a vaccine. And just in the UK, we've actually announced that we're going to do clinical trials on human beings for a vaccine this Thursday. So hopefully this is the start of a vaccine either this year or next year. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen sooner rather than later. But that's it. As always, remember, there is a story in everything and everyone. And until next time, you take care, and we'll be back again just after the US stock market close, after 9 o'clock. Take care.